so this will be a pretty nervy time, I think, for Frentzen.
Yes, I'm very happy. After this difficult start in this season, it is very much like oil on my soul.
Can you tell us about the first pit stop? Because when you went into the pits there, you were in third position. When you came out, you were leading the race. Can you explain that at all?
Well, I thought I was scheduled to come into the pits after Jacques, before Jacques anyway. And I saw Michael going into pits, and I saw Jacques going in front of me into the pits as well. So in this moment, it was my time to push to do 2 quick lap times before I go into the pits, because I could gain some time there. I was concerned about some traffic, but it was just all right. The pit stop was also very quick. And when I came out of the pit and I saw P1, I was absolutely happy that, and surprised as well that I was on the lead now.
Once you're ahead of Michael, towards the end of the race, he seems to be catching you up a bit. Were you worried about that or not really?
Yeah, we had a good conversation through the radio. I was concerned about the brakes. I didn't want to happen again what happened in Melbourne. And I asked for saving brakes. And the pit crew told me that Michael is pushing quite hard in the end. And I had to push as well. I couldn't really save the brakes as much as I would have done. But anyway, I tried to save more brakes at the end. And I was only concerned about the rain, that it could fall from the sky all in a sudden, and that would have made the situation a bit more difficult.
Heinz-Harald, well done. Michael, second here last year, second today, a good victory for you. Did your race go as expected?
I would say yes. I mean, the setup was fantastic. The car was working fairly well. Obviously, it was a little bit of a mixture in setup of the rain condition, which might would have happened. But I was basically happy. Second position was a little bit more than I was expecting. I was expecting actually a third position. I was hoping to go in between the 2 Williams, which finally happened. I could have done a little bit better if before my second pit stop wouldn't have had this traffic issue with Larini, who was probably looking in his mirror and driving suddenly very slow, and I locked up my front right tire, flat spotted it, and I had to come in, so I couldn't follow my plan, which it's the question mark whether it would have changed the situation, to be honest, because the first pit stop was the crucial one. There we lost out just this bit where Heinz-Harald slipped in front of me, and from there on the race was actually decided. He did a great race.
Looking much more competitive in this race. Did you feel more confident in the car than the last race?
Which last race? I mean, it lost back in Brazil. Actually, and the race condition, we seem to be not that far off compared to qualifying condition, and we obviously the only team who at least can go almost the speed as the Williams, which makes me quite happy because there should come certain changes into our car soon, I hope, obviously, which may give us the step we're looking for.
Michael, well done. Eddie, you were third in the last race and second today. Was it hard for you out there today?
The other way around, but close. No, it was hard to start with. I had a big battle with Panis. And he was a bit quicker than me to start, but I thought I'll just save my tyres and then have a go at him later on because I had a lot of fuel on board, so I could do a long first stint. And then he started coming back to me and I started pushing harder, and eventually I overtook him, and then we went into the pit stops. Some people were doing 1 and some people were doing 2. Had a bit of a dice with Coulthard just as his engine blew up. And then it was really Fisichella, who I knew I had a good idea, I had more fuel on him, so I could go longer in the second stint, and I was able to overtake him in the pits, and then it was basically quite boring really, just plodding along to the finish. I had a bit of a gear change problem, but I'm very pleased with third, obviously, after yesterday's problems.
Eddie, well done. Heinz-Harald, we now go to Monaco, and you're only 10 points behind your teammate. What are your feelings going to the Monaco circuit?
Well, first thing is, I'm quite happy with the situation right now. I feel the car very good. We made some good changes to the car, which does fit perfectly, or not perfectly yet, but it's coming into this direction. And I'm quite confident that I'll be there soon. Yeah.
He looks absolutely exhausted, really. I think mentally he's just drained.
Well, I think if you had Michael Schumacher up your backside for an hour and a half, you wouldn't be relaxing very much. But, I mean, he drove a good race. He didn't put a foot wrong, really. And to have that sort of pressure of Schumacher behind you, he would be mentally drained. He won't be doing much tomorrow, I don't think.
Obviously, Williams still have some problems. Villeneuve with his gearbox problems, and he was still worried about the brakes.
Well, Williams have a bit of an Achilles heel with the gearbox. That seems to be one of their weak points. They are making real progress with the brakes, but I think they still have a few problems there. But, you know, I think a lot of teams would love to have the problems Williams have got.
Oh.